Hi everyone, my name is Katrina Mativer. I'm a linguist, founder of Lingua and Lingua Plus. And today we're talking about cultural intelligence. Why it's so important and how can it be applicable in our everyday life, in our professional life, so on. Well, let's start beginning. Cultural intelligence was not a thing till like recent years. I would say it all started appearing maybe, a few decades ago, then the early 2000s, more people started pressing about cultural awareness, cultural intelligence. Although, when at the end, I think like of 20th century, we were talking about like cross-cultural psychology, and apparently there were a lot of debates, still ongoing debates, on the difference between like psychology and cross-cultural psychology and how can we look at an individual separately from its culture, or how much culture influences an individual psychologically. And if you look at all this modern tests, especially personality tests, um, you'll notice that they're focusing specifically on the individual without taking into account cultural traits, or let's say cultural, well, heritage, traumas, like all this like memory of the entire nation. And then we have all the systems dividing cultures to certain types, right? And well, certain traits. And it seems to be quite difficult to connect those two. But we won't go too deep into this, not today. So when we talk about cultural intelligence specifically, we are talking about a scale. I would say it's an adaptability scale, the way how an individual can adapt to a foreign culture and then create a certain repertoire of behaviors, like old and new, that would be adjusted to that culture. And if you watched other videos where I talk about cultural intelligence, language alter ego, you may say, oh yeah, language alter ego has this culture block. Not what. So when we talk about the scale, and scale per se can be developed, right? Before you jump in saying like I grew up in one particular culture, nation, and I think I'm fine about my culture, but I don't care about other cultures, or like I'm fine when I go to other cultures. Wait, let's, go step by step. We know that we have different quotients, right? So one of the most popular ones is IQ. We all know, and there are lots of questions still, yeah, about IQ, how it's actually working, how to measure it, so on. Then, of course, in recent years, we have a lot about EQ, a lot of talk, right? Emotional intelligence. And coming back to cross-cultural psychology, again, we see emotional intelligence and then cultural intelligence. Then we have IQ, and somebody would say, oh yeah, it's linguistic intelligence, right? But also a few years ago, Jack Ma stated that any leader of the century must possess this LQ as love quotient. Love, all right. So it's something about self-love and also your love for others. So I'd say maybe it's about compassion or empathy that's kind of taken out of emotional intelligence. Um, so all the skills can be trained. Cultural intelligence is not an exclusion. And when we look with you and cultural intelligence, different approaches, we may say that there are different levels of this, say, knowledge, right, or practical application. And I won't go right now into all this knowledge, behavior, and so on. I would focus on something different. Well, a couple of years ago, maybe even more, I don't remember, um, I was advised to read a book, sci-fi by Robert Zittel, that's called The Broken God. And there, in that book, I loved Fravashi. Fravashi is an alien, like alien species. Um, they're something like Tibetan monks. So they're monks, philosophers, with their own doctrine, and other species yeah, and the galaxy come to them to ask them for advice, yeah, what the meaning of life and so on. And Fravashi created their own system that I took and readjusted for our life, specifically for cultural intelligence. So this system, Plexus, has 4 levels. The first one is called simplex. And if you are, let's say, one particular country, you born in that country, you grew up, you're monolingual, monocultural, that's fine, you're at simplex. But watch out. The danger of simplex that people who have only one perspective have a lot of difficulties, right, to switch to another perspective, or even like there's multiple perspectives, right? And if you look around, you will notice that a lot of conflicts, a lot of wars start at this level, at the simplex, because of the inability to switch sides, to switch perspectives. Important. And this is also, yeah, one of the, let's say, skills that we get when we train cultural intelligence, right? That we start learning how to switch perspectives. Then we go with you to complex level. And if you are now listening to me, an immigrant, maybe you were born in one country and then you moved to another one, and you had to switch your routine, languages, cultures, and so on, you already know you can switch perspectives. You know that the world is different from what you thought it was. And that's beautiful. There are also, certain dangers, but I would say that at this level, you can switch, right? You can switch, you can see what's going on, and you have a high probability to soothe a conflict, a potential conflict, because of the switch. It's complex. The third one is multiplex. And multiplex occurs, let's say, if you were born in one country, and then you moved again. Perhaps you are even now between countries. You speak multiple languages. You've been immersed in multiple cultures. And you can actually have a look at the situation from different perspectives at the same time, with over than 2, 3, and more. And in this case, I call it like you're living in this multidimensional world where you're looking at a global conflict and saying, this country will benefit because of that. That country will benefit because of this and that. That country and so on. So you kind of like you're mapping out, what you can see there. You're mapping out what each individual or each community wants. Beautiful. More and more people, I believe, getting to complex and then multiplex complex here, because you have so many immigrants and so many people who are changing countries, like experts, and then so more people get to multiplex, which is great. And the final one is omniplex. Omniplex, really very rare. It's reserved for, say, a monk called Dalai Lama, 71 in a billion, a person who can accept all the views, but almost like from a sane perspective, and justify even the evil. And I say, if you believe that you can accept everything, probably not. You're not a saint. You're not a monk. But these people, exist. And I typically say for us, for normal folk, we look at the 3. Yeah, so simplex, complex, and multiplex. So based on your level right now, where you are, you can see what is within, let's say, your capability, and what challenges you have. So for complex, the challenge is probably to have a look other situation from multiple perspectives at once, because there is only experience of changing perspectives. And then yeah, going back to simplex, just yeah, having one perspective, how to switch to another. So this is like my, I would say, approach. Yeah, this is my approach to cultural intelligence and simple terms. And when you ask yourself, all right, I feel like I'm having trouble understanding my foreign colleagues, clients. So what can I do? I'd say start from simple exercises, learn to switch perspective, learn more about yourself, not only about your like individual, say, psychological type, but also about your culture and where your culture fits and what are common traits, not like so much stereotypes, but common traits. And then learn about the cultures of your colleagues, clients, friends, and have a look where they clash. I know that we often focus a lot on our differences, but after you look where you clash, you can then flip the coin and see where you're similar, where you're aligned, and see how you can honor your differences and celebrate those unique ways of seeing the world and still find a way to get aligned over your things in common, let's say, maybe beliefs in common. And this will create perhaps stronger sense of perhaps cultural identity. And then it will also help to show how you can be, you can come like a united front. How to do this, how to find out. So for you, about your culture, there are different resources, the Hofstad and the Mayor and viewers that have online the tests for culture, so like information available online. And there, as for cultures of other people, you can also, yeah, read online. But what I suggest, you talk to these people and you kind of interview them and say, hey, can you tell me more about this and that? And they're, while talking, you will already get more insights. You can always then check with theory, let's say with materials, and then put it into practice and see what happens. So I'm looking forward to your comments and questions. If you like this video, follow, subscribe, yeah, like, share, and feel free to suggest other topics. We're working on language and cultural programs at Duolingo, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. That's it. I'm Victoria Fever. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.